We are awaiting Mayor Henyard to arrive. We will give another 5 minutes.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard delayed the meeting with no explanation.
We're not your damn subjects. We are your bosses. We are the citizens of Dalton. And you will not continue to treat us like this because you are on.
Tiffany Henyard, once hailed as the super mayor of Dalton, is now witnessing the collapse of her political empire in real time. The drama surrounding her fall from grace is nothing short of astonishing, as a series of scandals, legal troubles, and public outrage threaten to end her career. From being ousted in a historic caucus to facing growing controversies, Henyard's lofty political ambitions are now unraveling. Could this be the end of her controversial career, or will she somehow manage to claw her way back into power? Let's explore the chaos. It all started with what Henyard likely thought would be a routine political move, securing a spot on the ballot for her re-election as Thornton Township Supervisor. However, in a shocking turn of events, her name was excluded from the list. The reason: she failed to meet a crucial requirement, completing a certified assessor program. This technicality, combined with the Democratic Party's decision to hold a caucus instead of a primary for the first time in decades, left Henyard scrambling to salvage her campaign. The caucus decision was orchestrated by Illinois State Senator Napoleon Harris, who also serves as the Thornton Township Democratic Committeeman. Harris didn't just oversee the process, he emerged victorious, securing the Democratic nomination and effectively shutting Henyard out. The caucus itself became a spectacle, with hundreds of people braving the cold outside the Homewood Flossmoor Park District Auditorium to cast their votes. Tensions were high as Henyard's supporters clashed with Harris's camp. When the final decision was announced, the crowd didn't erupt in outrage, they celebrated. They even sang Henyard out of the room with a mocking rendition of "N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A, hey hey hey, goodbye," leaving Henyard visibly shaken and stunned. Furious, she stormed out of the auditorium as her supporters looked on in disbelief.
Tonight, if you don't get the Democratic Party's nomination.
What do you mean? I will be victorious tonight. You will see. People out here.
Henyard didn't hold back in expressing her frustration, calling the entire process a sham. "You didn't run any of this the right way," she declared, vowing to sue everyone involved. She accused her opponents of manipulating the rules to block her from the ballot, particularly criticizing the last-minute change that prevented candidates from running for multiple offices. For Henyard, who was also seeking re-election as Dalton's mayor, this was a direct blow. However, Harris and his team defended the process, asserting that it was fair and consistent with the tradition followed by many other townships across the state.
Democratic caucus works right here in Thornton Township. You can also say that she flunked out because her name is not appearing.
For Henyard, the caucus loss is a significant blow to her image as the so-called super mayor. She has long touted her ability to juggle multiple leadership roles, but this defeat undermines her authority and leaves her vulnerable in the one position she still holds, mayor of Dalton. That role has been anything but smooth sailing. Henyard's tenure as mayor has been marked by chaos, from allegations of misusing taxpayer funds to public clashes with village trustees. Just this week, a judge ruled that her hand-picked interim police chief Ronnie Burgess Sr. must vacate his position. After only 30 days, the Dalton Police Department has been without a permanent chief for most of the year, and trustees have openly criticized Henyard's handling of the situation. "We hope to have a say in who the next chief will be," said trustee Jason House, who is also running for mayor. "If we deem that person not a good fit, they will not be approved."
Its regular scheduled Village Hall meeting turned into political antics where the opponents for Mayor Tiffany Henyard say they're counting the days.
Public sentiment appears to be shifting against Tiffany Henyard. At a recent village board meeting, many residents turned their backs to her as she spoke. Despite this, Henyard remains defiant, declaring, "Like it or not, I am your mayor," even comparing her potential victory to the rise of a controversial former president. However, her confidence seems increasingly misplaced as frustrated residents' comments reflect the growing discontent. "Dalton, please vote as early as you can, everyone vote, make it too big to rig, get her out of there." What's even more surprising is Henyard's continued insistence on her controversial decisions. In a move that left many local leaders baffled, she pushed forward a proposal to refund 100% of homeowners' property taxes, an idea critics have slammed as a desperate attempt to buy votes. Trustee Brittany Norwood, frustrated by the proposal, walked out of the meeting, calling it financially reckless and a publicity stunt. While some residents initially supported the idea, others quickly pointed out the village's massive budget deficit, making the plan virtually impossible to implement.
Minutes, that's all it took for Tiffany Henyard to be out as the Democratic nominee for Thornton Township Supervisor, and she left here visibly upset.
An increasing number of former allies are turning against Tiffany Henyard, with whispers of tell-all interviews and leaked documents beginning to circulate. One anonymous former staffer claimed that Henyard's leadership style has alienated even her most loyal supporters. At first, people believed in her vision, but now it's all about her ego, the source said. She doesn't listen to anyone and is quick to retaliate if she feels threatened. This sentiment is echoed by local trustees who have publicly clashed with her, accusing Henyard of fostering a toxic political environment and putting her own image ahead of the community's needs.
For a while, it's like, grassroots. It was organic when a lot of this things started at the township, where the people were, just showing their...
Adding to the turmoil, Henyard's behavior at public events has raised further concerns. At a recent township meeting, she arrived late, visibly upset, and singled out trustees by name, accusing them of undermining her. The tension in the room escalated to the point where several attendees left early, expressing discomfort with the hostile atmosphere she created. "It's not leadership, it's theater," said one attendee. "She's more focused on the drama than the actual work." These public outbursts, combined with her growing legal troubles, have only widened the rift between Henyard and the people she is meant to serve.
Get back and to be a mayor, and we already know she's not gonna win that supervisor seat.
The controversy surrounding Tiffany Henyard goes far beyond her caucus loss. Over the past year, her administration has been plagued by investigations into her spending and leadership practices. Reports reveal that Henyard and her entourage racked up over $100,000 in travel expenses, meals, and public events, with one poorly attended concert alone costing a staggering $85,000. Her namesake charity, Kenka, was shut down for failing to disclose how it spent its funds, and the Illinois Attorney General's office issued a warning, telling her to cease soliciting donations until the charity complies with state regulations. Even after the FBI served subpoenas in April, Henyard's spending reportedly continued unchecked. Tiffany Henyard's leadership has come under intense scrutiny, with many criticizing it as more selfing than community-focused. Trustees have accused her of using taxpayer funds for personal gain, citing expenses for first-class flights, luxury accommodations, and even beauty services. She has also been criticized for promoting herself through town billboards and music videos featuring city employees. One trustee described her behavior as a stain on our community, while another referred to her administration as a dictatorship. Residents have voiced their frustrations as well, with one commenter stating, "Money and power corrupts, the more power, the more corruption." Henyard is also facing allegations of targeting political opponents. The Dalton Park District has accused her office of withholding permits for 2 grants worth $600,000 intended for playground upgrades. Without the permits, the grants could expire, forcing taxpayers to cover the cost. Park District officials believe the citations and delays are politically motivated, pointing out that Henyard's opponents were allowed to hold meetings on their property. "We do not play politics here," said Park District President Cleo Jones, urging Henyard not to involve them in political disputes. Adding fuel to the fire, one of Henyard's closest allies, former Deputy Police Chief Louis Lacey, was recently indicted on bankruptcy fraud charges. Federal prosecutors allege that Lacey concealed assets and underreported his income to avoid paying creditors. Lacey's lawyer claims the indictment is part of a broader strategy to build a case against Henyard, but the charges have only deepened the perception of corruption within Henyard's administration.
To win, but let's do it properly and let the people really have a voice. The people's voice was taken.
Amid the growing turmoil, Tiffany Henyard continues to maintain that she is being unfairly targeted. In a recent Facebook video, she accused her critics of spreading false narratives and suggested a conspiracy designed to bring her down. "Why all this attention on me?" she asked. "What are they doing that they don't want us to know about while they're distracting us over here?" Meanwhile, concerns about Dalton's financial health are intensifying. Earlier this year, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, hired as a special investigator, revealed that the village's general fund balance had plummeted from over $5 million in 2022 to a nearly $4 million deficit by 2024. Lightfoot's preliminary report also flagged questionable spending, including $43,000 in Amazon purchases in a single day.
It would have been a primary, always has been, in the history of Thornton Township. Always, 10,000 residents come and vote for Township.
As Tiffany Henyard's legal and political troubles mount, her options are dwindling. Running as a write-in candidate for Thornton Township Supervisor is a difficult path, and with her approval rating plummeting, even her mayoral re-election in Dalton is UNC certain. Some believe her allies are already preparing to abandon her, leaving Henyard increasingly isolated. Despite this, she remains defiant, insisting the show will go on after her caucus loss. But for how long is this the end of her political career, or can she stage a comeback? What does this situation reveal about the state of local politics in America? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding story.